Hello guys and welcome back to the F1 Tube YouTube channel, and in today's video we will be reviewing the 2019 Monaco Grand Prix. And for Monaco standards, what a race! Yes, there wasn't that many overtakes, but the drama was just consistent. Let's kick off with Lewis Hamilton, who won his fourth Grand Prix of the season, winning the Monaco Grand Prix for the third time in his career. I mean, what a drive. After being put on an inferior strategy, he really hung on to those tyres and the win in such a champion manner. He has had to dig so deep this weekend and he has risen to the top again. Bottas was not able to complete a Mercedes 1-2. All the variables basically compounded a third place finish. He was knocked out by Max Verstappen in the pit lane and had to pit again. So, not the greatest race for Bottas, but it's a podium and he is still in championship contention. By the way, guys, sorry about the writing on here. They scored 40 points, Mercedes, not 35. I am seriously struggling to believe that Vettel came home P2 in a Ferrari that has been dire this weekend. Yes, a lot of luck did aid him to a P2 finish, but he was very quietly brilliant. Charles Leclerc started from P15 or P16 and he made a daring pass on Grosjean in the early stages and was really looking strong for a points finish, but then he collided with Nico Hülkenberg. Well, actually, he collided with the barriers whilst going for a move on Nico Hülkenberg. That damaged his car and he was basically out of the race, and I saw this coming. He was being over aggressive constantly. You could always feel that Leclerc was going to crash. A forgettable weekend for the hometown hero. Max Verstappen, after his pit lane antics, well, I'm not going to blame it on him, I'm going to blame it on the team, but after that issue he had with Valtteri Bottas, he got a penalty, demoted him to fourth after finishing second on the road, and Red Bull did not meet their target in getting a podium finish. They should have got a podium finish, but they didn't. Gasly came home P5, so some more strong points for the team. Despite bringing home another point for Renault, Daniel Ricciardo could have had a lot better of a Grand Prix. The strategy just didn't go his way. He was P5, but then it went all wrong for him. Nico Hülkenberg was caught up in a lot of incidents, which resulted in him finishing P14 and out of the points. Grosjean drove a stellar race really to finish P9, going very long in the first stint on the soft tyres. About 50 laps on the soft tyres. A remarkable job from Grosjean. He came home P9 in the end. Magnussen didn't fare out brilliantly with the strategy. He didn't have the best of races, although he was definitely going to score points had the strategy gone his way. Magnussen was comfortably quicker than Grosjean this weekend, but unfortunately on race day it didn't work out for him. Carlos Sainz delivered a pulsating performance again in F1 and again around the streets of Monte Carlo. He came home best of the rest in P6. What a drive. Lando Norris wasn't able to make the points and he just missed out, but I think for McLaren it's a good weekend. 8 points is very, very good and about what they need to expect, considering that it is a very tight midfield battle. For the second race weekend in a row, Racing Points had literally no pace. They were really struggling this weekend, and to be honest it was the same with Alfa Romeo, who were also not able to score points. They were way off the pace and there needs to be a lot of homework done back at their respective factories because this was really worrying. Team of the weekend, Toro Rosso. Brilliant qualifying pace, brilliant race pace. Kvyat P7, Albon P8, 10 points, and I said Toro Rosso, if they can maintain a consistent car, they will be scoring big points in this championship or midfield battle. And my word, what a weekend for the team. If they can carry this on into the next few races, I mean, they need to be considered a more serious threat. This was by far Williams' best race of 2019. Kubica had a brilliant start and was about P15, P16 in the early stages of the race. Then he collided with Giovinazzi, basically fell to the back, but George Russell, P15. What a drive. I know it sounds really stupid, me saying P15 is a remarkable drive, but in a Williams that has been dire, defeating a Alfa Romeo and a Racing Point, I mean, George Russell deserves some serious praise. But in terms of the car, it is still dire. I said earlier in the video that Leclerc always looked like he was going to crash, and obviously that became evident with his incident with Hülkenberg. You cannot really blame that much on Hülkenberg, if at all. He did squeeze Leclerc, but was the move ever on? Not really. Now, the Red Bull pit incident. Now, for me, this is an easy decision in the fact that Verstappen deserved the penalty. Yes, it was not bad driving from his side, but he gained time and a position from an illegal move in a way. Could it have been harsher? Yes, it really could. In this photo you can see he was squeezing Bottas. Verstappen should... I know Red Bull let him out unsafely, but Verstappen needs to be kind of cautious in this way because Monaco is such a tight pit lane. It could have been a much harsher penalty, to be honest, but the stewards seem to be a bit more lenient this year. But then they slapped a 10-second time penalty on Antonio Giovinazzi for causing a collision and damaging another car, which is effectively what Verstappen done. I know Verstappen didn't do it intentionally. I mean, to be fair, neither did Giovinazzi, but he triggered the incident. Was it a penalty? 100%. The move was never on. It was a very light-hearted move. He has to take blame for the incident, and really, that could have resulted in a safety car or a red flag if it was a lot tighter of an incident in terms of cars piling onto each other. So, deservedly a penalty for Giovinazzi there, and yeah, it's just been a very scruffy season for the Italians so far, but he can definitely pick up some pace in Canada. Lewis Hamilton has opened up a 17-point lead in the championship after a brilliant Monaco Grand Prix weekend. This has been his most well put together weekend of the year by a mile. Bottas easily maintains P2. Vettel was jumped Verstappen into third with Leclerc in fifth. Gasly is sixth. Sainz, after a brilliant weekend, jumps to seventh with Magnussen, Perez and Raikkonen rounding out the top 10. Despite the streak of 1-2 finishes ending, Mercedes are still miles clear of the field, about 118 points, yes, 118 points ahead of Ferrari in second. Red Bull are not that far behind in third. McLaren fourth, best of the rest. What a season for them so far. Racing Point are fifth, Haas are sixth, Toro Rosso seventh, Renault only eighth, Alfa Romeo only ninth, and Williams obviously round out the field. Points wise, this has definitely been Mercedes' worst weekend of 2019, which is still a brilliant weekend considering the rivals they're up against. But my drive of the day is Carlos Sainz. It could have been Hamilton, and it probably should have been Hamilton, but I want to give recognition to a midfield driver, and it's Carlos Sainz. Again, pumping in blistering pace. He had the midfield covered, and I mean covered. His pace in the past two race weekends, okay, more in Monaco, but his ability to maximise the true potential of himself and the car has been brilliant. But I will say Lewis Hamilton probably might have been a bit better. Like I said, I'm going to give some recognition to the midfield. Hamilton, brilliant. Managing his tyres superbly. Yes, it's Monaco, but just again, a brilliant drive. I'm going to give this race a 7.5 out of 10. So intriguing. Loads of drama really for Monaco standards. And yes, it was definitely the second best race of the season. Not quite Bahrain level, but in terms of like Baku, China, Spain, Australia, this has been a brilliant race. Also, I need to mention Hamilton's incident with Verstappen. I agree with the stewards. A racing incident. Verstappen went for a move which was a bit audacious, locked up. But if Hamilton turns in, which he didn't, he cut the chicane. If Hamilton turns in, he's going to spin, and yeah, I think I have to completely agree with the stewards. Hamilton, yes, he did cut the track, but if he turns in, he is going to spin. And I don't really think it was an overtaking opportunity. But guys, that is it for today's video. Please like this video, comment down below what you thought of the race, and please subscribe to the F1 Tube YouTube channel. And until next time, guys, see you later.